We're in the last 18 minutes of the day here at the shop. Time to look at some new books. Yeah, it hasn't been exceptionally busy today. Customer-wise, it's busy, good. It's a Wednesday. But more than that, I've been playing catch up and running around and trying to get things nicely set up in the kids section, mail off a bunch of packages, send people invoices, etc., 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 and that really took up a lot of time. So we're finally, I was like, said goodbye to someone who just bought a book in the kids section. And then I was like, all right, winding down. What do we still need to do? I'm like, I need to do the live stream. And my brain goes, oh, well, you can do the live stream tonight. And it's like, no, you want to show off the new books. So let's do that before anyone else comes in. We got Giant Size Thor, Simonson cover. Jenny Sparks has a new series. She comes into the 21st century to make it more like the 20th. I don't know. Miles Morales annual. Nightclub 2, sequel to Mark Millar's series. Oh, perfect, Joe. Oh, you found a package? I can't see the whole comment. And found a. Patra, really fun little dark one from James Robinson, Scott Collins. Power Rangers Infinity, the end of a Power Rangers era. We get a new multiversal team that looks really fun. Predator versus Black Panther. Oh, package waiting for you. Excellent. These are old. Ultimate Spidey 8. Wolverine Revenge, the new Jonathan Hickman Capullo Wolverine, Ultraviolent. Venom War Carnage. Second issue of Paranoid Garden. Second issue of Phoenix. Third issue of Destro. Third issue of Gotham City Sirens. Third issue of Scarlet Witch. Second issue of Powerpuff Girls. Fifth issue of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Fifth issue of Deadpool. Second issue of Epitaphs from the Abyss. Tom King is writing Jenny Sparks. Which is very hit or miss for superhero stuff. All I know is Batman shows up in it pretty early. I was a little surprised. Second issue of Jason Aaron's great run on Namor, and second issue of the new Marguerite Bennett Witchblade. So a small week, but a mighty week. We looked at all the new books yesterday, but surprisingly, Joe did not say, oh, throw that new little Godzilla summer camp into me. So I'm worried that I didn't explain these books well enough, since Joe didn't ask for that. Let's try again. She Likes Gays and Not Me. We discussed that. Friday at the Atelier, we discussed when the first one came out. Beginning After the End 6. I Want to Do Bad Things With You, which is a really cute looking romance, just starting, Volume 1. Jujutsu Kaisen, Mr. Villain's Day Off, Codex Black, a new Avatar Last Airbender. Olaf's Comic Collection, A New I Survived. The third Cuphead, Pearl. Beautiful book. About America, Pearl Harbor, and multiculturalism. Kitty Corn, Things That Go. First Kitty Corn board book. We got our book plates for this guy. So Joe, I actually looks like I'm out of the Godzilla I wanted to show off. Einstein in Kafkaland. Space Junk. Never Again Will I Visit Auschwitz. Cutting Season. Rashomon, Invincible 4, Mace Windu, and Godzilla Rivals. Joe, the Godzilla book I was talking about, we got a bunch of them damaged. So let me go dig up the damages, and then I'll show it to you. Where did I put it? Here it is. Monster Island Summer Camp. It looks adorable. Great art. So I'm waiting. I'll be getting replacement copies for these damaged books. But just check that out. What fun! Monster Island Summer Camp looks great. You know what? I don't know. I spent the morning rearranging my garage. I actually got 3 boxes of used books. Einstein in Kafkaland is about how Einstein got stuck in bureaucracy, and working in bureaucracy is how he developed his ideas for the universe because of certain things he dealt with in bureaucratic things. I have to read it myself. I only know the synopsis, but that's the general synopsis. I rearranged my attic, so we got tons of new stuff for the kids section, where we have a now dedicated used. I want to show off a little bit. If you noticed, we changed some things. The rack here is the rack that used to be in the kids section. We got our chair back. not the chair, but a chair. We move the sets to over here. So now we got the sets right by the front back issues. And a lot more space to show off number ones. But in my garage today, and this is where that one went, I helped load up all these used books, all kids used books, all half price. And then I went a little meme heavy for the signs. I just like them is all. I like memes. I think they're an incredible form of comic book, so I like using them. Einstein and Godzilla when we get it back. All right, excellent. We got some board books that people have been putting very higgly-piggly since I set them up. But generally, I think the room looks a lot more organized, a lot cleaner. We've got much younger kids coming in all the time, so I wanted to put the picture books out first. And then over here, we put all those series that used to be up on the wall. We got signs falling off of things left and right. And then these are all standalone. Unfortunately, they have not been properly organized. I just got them up by category. I haven't had time to organize them. But I think that the kids section in general looks significantly better, a lot more put together, and a lot more roomy. So I'm happy with it. Not happy with the fact that I have a million things to do tonight. Like I had someone who wanted me to come and deal with the rest of that collection, if you recall I was mentioning it, and I just don't. He wants me to come over at 9 something, and it's like I can't stick around here and do more work that I don't even necessarily need to do, but would like to do, and then head over there and then get home at 10:30 and start working on laundry. Like it's not possible. So this comic shop is Escape Pod Comics in Huntington, Long Island. In New York on Huntington, Long Island. Anyway, I'm gonna head out now. I'm gonna start closing up the shop. I'm going to start closing up the shop in about 5 minutes. So I guess I'll give a 5-minute reprieve. I thought it was a little bit later. If anyone has any questions, anything they wanted to ask about the current comics out or the current comic market, you get 5 minutes of my time. Otherwise, I'm going to just talk about Amazon and the evils that they do more, and no one wants to hear that. So I'll give you guys, you folks, a minute to think up a subject, and if you don't do it, I'm just going to rail against Amazon. I overheard many people saying stuff about Amazon to each other here in my shop, and it's nerve-wracking. It's frustrating. It's upsetting. How often do we do live streams? Daily, sir. Sunday through Friday. Sunday through Friday. Just gonna put some books back. Here's a question. Batman: The Long Halloween. Oof. Batman: The Long Halloween is one of the best Batman stories in which Batman is a detective. It is probably, with Jeff Loeb writing, the best Batman. The best Batman being a detective that Jeff Loeb writes. Far better detective work and more interesting detective work. I think it's the height of Tim Sale's work. I think everything after that, Tim Sale becomes a bit of a caricature of himself. Sometimes that's beautiful, like in Daredevil Yellow, but still a bit of a caricature. My biggest problem is that it really, like so much else that's a great Batman book, it really is its own thing. It doesn't really fit as part of the big, long continuity, complicated history of Batman. And that becomes a problem when it has sequels like Dark Victory and this new Last Halloween that's coming out, because it's a story. It has a beginning, middle, and an end. Anything that's a sequel or continuation of it kind of dilutes. I'm diluted. That's diluted. The real vibe, I think, that makes Long Halloween so good. I think the calendar aspect of it is super important. The seasonal aspect, I think that's why the covers are so great. Just one of the good Batmans. I was just rereading Hush, and I will not give it the same praise. I would say Long Halloween is God tier, as they say. Up there with Year One, Dark Knight Returns, um, maybe Killing Joke, but that's again, it's not a Batman book, that's a Joker book. But you know what I mean. Yeah, not much else for Batman, in my opinion. Some wonderful one-off stories going sane. Um, Gothic, 3 or 4 issue storylines, but things like that aren't the same as a big fat book. Thank you, Joe. That was a good direction. My options are correct options. Hush is perfectly fine. I just find that Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb are doing 2 different stories. Jim Lee is doing a posy, superhero-y, action-y book, and Jeff Loeb is trying to write Batman Untangling a Mystery, and it's not a bad comic. It's just not great Batman detective comics. You know what I mean? I think Batman's one of those characters who has a vast majority of bad stories. I think most of Batman's stories are bad. Doesn't mean they're not enjoyable. They're very enjoyable. A lot of superhero comics are bad. That doesn't mean they're not fun as hell. That doesn't mean they're not brilliantly drawn or incredibly plotted. You go and you read the Batman that Jim Aparo drew. One of those stories are nonsensical. Jim Aparo drew. You go and read tons of Doug Monk and Chuck Dixon Batman, and they're pretty nonsensical, but they're fun. They give a nice little about who Batman is, about what his relationships are. The Scott Snyder run the same way. A lot of the Tom King run. I mean, Tom King wrote that issue with Nightwing and Batman after he gets dumped by Catwoman, and it's a great issue of Batman. But the rest of the run is not a great run of Batman. It's fine. It's Batman. It's Batman. He's a guy who dresses up like a bat and beats people up. It can't always be brilliant. Is put in that tier of one of the great brilliant Batmans, and it's just perfectly fine Batman. It's just okay Batman. But I also have Jim Lee issues, so it probably colors things a bit. I find his work to be not for me, generally. All right. I think we ranted enough there. Always new rants coming every day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, etc., etc., etc. And tomorrow we are going to discuss the new big sale that we're going to be having. And next week, Sunday through Friday, all week, we're going to be doing a sale in the store. This is my first public announcement of it. We have a big restock coming tomorrow, which I'm hoping we'll get to unpack here live. The final midsummer restock, and once it's in, we will be doing a sale. So tune in tomorrow, set notifications so you see me tomorrow to find out what's going to be in the sale, what's going to be on the sale, etc. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you got to be kind.